And that's my biggest concern. I would love to have the front specific and the rear specific tire, but actually so far, at least in cross country, no tire really made it as a front and rear, and some riders would even swap the front with rear, rear with front. So that would be the topic of today's initial review of Schwalbe Racing Ralph and Racing Ray. Yeah, no tires really made it so far. If we go back to 1998, when I absolutely loved Cannondale F900 SL, which was the first real mountain bike my parents bought me. I was 18 years old then. We had the IRC Mythos XC. Do you remember those tires? Rear specific and front specific. But when I looked at some pictures on my friend's computer, I didn't have internet that time, from some races of the Volvo Cannondale racing team, you could see that some riders would use the rear tire as a front one. It didn't change that much till now, because for example we've got the Minions, the Maxxis Minions DHR and DHF, and some riders want to use F as the R, and so the question is, can it really work? So this is Schwalbe Racing Ray, front specific. And this is Schwalbe Racing Ralph. No more Racing Ralph, both for rear and front tire. Is it just the marketing? Is it real game? I'm gonna check it out, because I would love to have something that is really rear and front specific. I have on my bike so far the Maxxis Aspen Now in the front, Maxxis Icon in the rear. You know my opinion about those, at least without EXO. These are so light, so easy to puncture. If I was to make choice of Maxxis, I would run probably Aspen EXO, both front and rear. I don't like Icons that much. These are good overall tires, not that fast in the corners, in my opinion. And I'm gonna just put these on my Nini in a second, and we'll try to do like the initial test on some really loose ground. But first, let's see some main features of these tires and then compare these to those. So Icon, and Aspen, which are really well known and loved by many. Racing Ray, front one, Racing Ralph, rear one. Both are 29 225. 225, that's the width. And as you can see, these are completely different tires. Front one, it's got to be not only fast, but it's got to be really well gripping in the corners. And so we've got here the blue one. That stands for the Addix compound SP grip. That means speed grip. I think it says, yeah, Addix speed, that's here, speed grip. This speed grip compound is supposed to be very versatile. Schwalbe say you can use it for XC or mountain enduro. This one is not, as you can see here, speed grip. This one is speed and is supposed to be fast. This is the one which has to give us the traction when we push hard on the pedals. You can also see those blocks here, those knobs are completely different. And so the compound is also different, so not speed grip but speed. Schwalbe say that comparing to the previous Pace Star compound, they have improved everything. So the cornering grip, the rolling resistance, all the things that we want to have on the tires. But the biggest difference is also durability. These two are much more durable on this Addix compound comparing to the Pace Star. And now let's just put those on the bike, but let's see first these tires I've got here. This is my rear Icon. On the Green Froggy, you know, the Merida Big 9 Lite I've been just reviewing, they were just stock Icons, both front and rear. As you can see, this tire supposed to have quite good rolling resistance, and it has quite low. And this shape, very round shape, means that this is very predictable tire, but also you don't have aggressive knobs here on the sides. It's not very aggressive in the corners, so cornering is not not for aggressive riding style mountain bikers. Okay, very predictable. Okay, tire is not my favorite one, but many riders like Maxxis Icons. I don't like it that much. But let's see now the front tire. And this is the one I have in the front. This is the Maxxis Aspen, also predictable. This is already the older generation. The newer one has some more aggressive knobs here on the sides, so better for cornering. These are the tires Nino Schurter is putting both front and rear most of the time on his bike. If you remember the review with Gunrita Dalen, she's running also Aspens both front and rear. I didn't really ask whether it was EXO or not. I don't remember that, but I would always use EXO. These are super light but super thin tires. Rolling resistance is low on these, but surprisingly these are quite loud when you ride on the tarmac. So that's it, you know just how they look like, and now let's put these on the bike. I thought that you might like to see how they look like before I even put those on the bike. They look pretty solid. So not super thin, not very soft. Both feel kind of the same. That's just my feeling. You get the short instruction for your tubeless easy. TLE stands for tubeless easy. And now let's put those on the bike. First with the inner tubes. And here is the all-new Racing Ralph on my bike. As you can see, the shape is also round, just as on the Icons, but more spacing between the center knobs and then these like mid-transmission knobs, and finally the cornering knobs. So we'll see how it goes. These have lots of cuts in those, so each little knob has 2 cuts, and those here on the side have 3. I'm wondering how this tire will perform. I'm gonna start on the tarmac. Now the Racing Ray, you can already see this one is more aggressive. You can see the distance even between those central knobs, and also there's an offset. Look at the pattern. You can see the pattern like here, like these lines here, here and here, but also in this direction. So this one, this one, this one. The side knobs look quite aggressive, which I like so much. Let's see how these tires perform. The tires are quite silent on the tarmac, which doesn't necessarily mean they have lower resistance because of that, or just better grip, but they are quite silent. Time to do some climbing on the loose ground. There is lots of pieces here, soil, some pieces of wood, and this compound already feels grippy. It felt like that when assembling the tires on the rims, because it was very difficult for me to put those on. And also to center those. That means it is grippy compound, and on this loose section I feel quite comfy. Of course, it is too little to say about how these compare to the previous Racing Ralphs, which I had on my Fuzzy and Jedi, which are Cannondale FSI and the Rose Count Solo. But we'll see. These will be my racing tires for like 1,000 kilometers on Nini, which is Merida 96. Testing my Racing Ralph and Racing Ray day number 2. After yesterday's 1-hour ride, I decided not to finish the video, even though it's just the initial thoughts about the tires yesterday. And I did the training. That was the course preview for the next Sunday MTB marathon, and I can already tell you something. I do like the tires. I like the rolling. I like them on fire roads, on the tarmac. Pretty good. But what I know for sure is that on the tire, which is the front one, and is going to give me more cornering grip. The distances between the knobs is something I like. You know what I mean? I mean that there is no knobs in between here. So I have like one line, second line, third, fourth, and the fifth one here between the knobs. That allows me to corner a little bit better. For sure, I'm gonna do lots of races on these tires, and you will see in slow-mo my cornering, whether it's improving. It's been improved or not. We'll see that. So far, I do like those. If you already bought these new Racing Ralph and Racing Ray, let me know. And see you tomorrow on the next episode. Bye-bye. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Remember to join our forum.sigbiker.com, where we discuss all the topics, training, service, any issues with the bikes. If you want to share anything with us, join our Facebook group. All the links are below. And if you want to join my patrons, feel free to do so. And now, okay, you might watch just 1 or 2 episodes more, but then let's go and ride.